via teleconference. As such, all votes will be handled by a roll call vote. With that, I'll now call the roll. Supervisor Jacob?
Here.
Supervisor Gaspar?
Present.
Supervisor Fletcher? Vice Chairman Desmond?
Here.
Chairman Cox?
Here. And my understanding, Supervisor Fletcher will be here shortly. He was having some car problems, and so we'll go ahead and get started with the first item on our agenda, which is the public communications. My understanding is we have 5 different public communications that have been submitted, so I'll ask the clerk to please go ahead and read those now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There are 5 comments submitted by the public on non-agenda items. The first is from Jessica Paskovich. It reads, how is it possible that the mask requirement is still in effect? Your own health order states that there is no evidence to support it and in fact is more dangerous. The estimate of 6,000 lives saved seems widely dramatic, 46 times actual deaths, and clearly inaccurate as we don't know the true rate of infection. Was this so you can attempt to justify your mistakes? The spike in April is due to a change in reporting. The true peak was a week before we closed down, proving the lockdown pointless. The second comment is from Justin Martin. It reads, open businesses and churches ASAP, the pandemic is over. The third comment is from Andrew Allering. It reads, hazard pay for doing their job is ridiculous. Public servants are already working and earning above average salaries and pensions. Hazard pay is uncalled for, and I will sue the county for misappropriation of federal funds. The board should be ashamed of its actions. The fourth comment is from Franklin Thompson. Why can't we go fishing? This pertains to lake and surf fishing. While we fish, we face the water. While we fish, staying 6 feet apart only makes sense and are not intimidated by someone wearing a mask. Parking lots at beach being closed, it makes somewhat impossible for San Diego residents that live inland not able to take advantage of these activities. The last comment is from Skylar Evans. It reads, California can release molesters and rapists to our communities, yet if you try to go for a haircut, you are labeled a criminal. Yet somehow our politicians still look well-groomed. This was to flatten the curve and not overwhelm our medical services. This did not happen. The goalposts have been moved each day. Walmart can have 200 people in their stores, but a small consignment shop can have 3 all day. Reporting on your neighbors, how did Hitler take over Germany? Just like this. That concludes the non-agenda public comments that were submitted.
Very good. And under public communications, the Board of Supervisors can't take any action. We can just receive the input, and if appropriate, those will be referred to staff. We'll move on now to the formation of the consent calendar. All items in the consent calendar will be considered to be routine. It will be enacted upon by one motion unless there's a desire on the part of the public or members of the board to pull items for further comment. Let me first ask the clerk if any items have been pulled by the public.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The public has not requested to pull any items on the agenda. Therefore, all items on the Board of Supervisors agenda may be placed in the consent calendar for your board's consideration.
Okay, let me go to my colleagues first, starting with Supervisor Diane Jacob. Do you have any items to pull?
Mr. Chairman, I do not, and I would move approval of the consent agenda.
Very good. We'll move on to Supervisor Gaspar.
Chairman, I'll second the consent calendar.
Okay, and we'll move on now to Supervisor Fletcher.
No items to pull.
Okay, Vice Chairman Desmond.
I have no items to pull. Thank you.
Very good. I have no items to pull. I would just make a brief comment on item number 4, which is establishing an appropriation to award a construction contract for the Sweetwater Road Pathway Improvement Project. This is a project on Sweetwater Road, which will provide a barrier between the very popular jogging and running and equestrian and all sorts of types of activity trail that goes around the Chula Vista Municipal Golf Course. And I really appreciate staff's efforts in bringing this project forward in a timely manner. So thank you very much, staff. With that, we do have a motion by Supervisor Jacob, seconded by Supervisor Gaspar to approve the consent calendar. If there is no further discussion, would the clerk please call the roll?
Thank you, Chairman. I'll note for the record that with that motion, item 2 introduces an ordinance amending section 72.161.43 of the San Diego County Code relating to speed limits on county-maintained roads in San Diego County. With that, Chairman Cox.
Aye.
Supervisor Jacob.
Aye.
Supervisor Gaspar.
Aye.
Supervisor Fletcher.
Aye.
Vice Chairman Desmond.
Aye.
Chairman Cox, that motion passes unanimously with all board members being present and voting aye.
All right, we'll move on now to adjournments in memory. There is only one, and it's one that I've asked to be presented today. I'd like to adjourn this portion of today's meeting in honor of Mary Lynn Detta, a Chula Vista resident who, along with her family, gave so much back to the community. She passed away on April 21st at the age of 97. Mrs. Detta was married to former State Senator Waddy Detta for 68 years. The two of them both taught in the South County schools in the Sweetwater Union High School District, with Waddy teaching at Sweetwater High School and later Southwestern College, and then Mary Lynn teaching at Hilltop Junior High School, where she inspired generations of students. She loved music, and that passion was translated into her work in the community, serving as a member of the board of directors of the Lambs Players Theater in Coronado for many, many years. Mrs. Detta is survived by her son, Peter C. Detta, who was a longtime Superior Court judge and several grandchildren. Mary Lynn Detta believed in serving her community, and she left a legacy of civic engagement. We will sincerely miss her. With that, we will adjourn to closed session. If there are any reportable items out of closed session, we will deal with those through having the attorney go ahead and post that on our website. The next meeting of the Board of Supervisors will be on Tuesday, the 19th of May. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much for your participation.